This is such a weird one to try to start because, like, how do you even begin to be like, hey, we lost one of the greats?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've always said there's a handful of people that will absolutely crush me when they go, and Ozzy Osbourne was one of them.
Hmm.
And when I got the news, I literally had to just like stop what I was doing and just hide away in a room for a couple of hours and just sit
Yeah.
there contemplating.
Yeah.
it's it's really sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, like, I didn't have the biggest, closest relationship with Ozzy as a lot of my contemporaries and a lot of my friends, but he still shaped so much of what I listened to. And, like, I grew up with, about the first seven Black Sabbath records and, um, Blizzard of Oz, No More Tears, and oh, what was the one that he did in the early 2000s? I can picture it. It's like it's not Faith No More. What is that one? I'm trying to remember that. It's the one
Oh
with
man,
Dreamer on it.
that's like a
Test.
blind spot in my
Oh
knowledge.
man, I'm testing the blind spots here. Yeah, because I remember listening to that almost on repeat when I was in
Down to
high school. Down to Earth, yes, that's the one.
mm,
That's the one. Um, Yeah, those were like my big ones that I would listen to pretty regularly. And then later on, I picked up Bark at the Moon and Diary of a Madman. But it was still those three. Those were the three that I kept coming back to. Um, and yeah, I think much like you, when I first heard it, I just had to stop, and I was just like, "Oh wow, this is a big one," because he just got off of his tour. Like he just got off of his last show.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was violently trying to get tickets for that show
Hmm.
when it first got announced, and just it was just impossible. Like,
Hmm.
I have a lot of friends that went, and they said it was very good.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
thanks for that.
thanks.
Thanks for not getting me a
That's
ticket.
lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah, nice for you. But yeah, I mean, it was looked fantastic. Like all the clips and videos from the live stream and everything. Just like that, almost it felt like we just kind of had the funeral and then he died like very quickly afterwards. Like
Hmm.
it's bizarre. It's very
Yeah.
odd
Yeah.
that happened. But I guess maybe he was kind of holding out for that farewell, and then afterwards it's like, oh, I'm relaxed. I've done it now, and
Yeah.
maybe just you kind of like you see it a lot in like I've got a friend of mine that's a doctor, and he sees a lot where someone in like an elderly couple that have been together for decades, one of them passes away, the other one passes away not too much longer after. And I
Yeah.
kind of almost wonder if it's the same thing happening there, where he kind of said goodbye to his career basically,
Hmm.
um, in front of the world.
Yeah.
And just that was what was keeping him going all these years. Because I mean, so many people were like, how is he still going after all the
Hmm.
drugs and everything that he's put himself through and his body through? Um, and yeah, it's just really sad.
Yeah. 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 Like I was thinking the exact same thing, and I saw a bunch of conspiracy theories, and I'm like, come on, guys, there's no, like, just stop it with that. Cause like, um, but like, yeah, much to your point, it's like when that big project, when that big Final Hurrah is finally done, like I'm thinking of David Bowie when he put out Black Star. Was it Black Star? I
Mm.
think it's Black Star.
Yeah.
Um, he died very quickly after that. And so it's like, okay, my final statement is done. And also, like, he was off of, from what I have read, he was off a lot of the medications just to keep him as lucid as possible. And I'm sure that that did a pretty big number on him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like, what a more metal way to go, do your final show and then be like, peace, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a hell of a show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I had tickets for the last Ozzy Osbourne tour in the
Hmm.
UK that was supposed to happen,
I remember that.
um,
Yeah.
and it got postponed and postponed and
Hmm.
postponed and postponed until the rug got pulled out from under it. It was like, look, it's been, I think it was like maybe 3.5, 4 years between the time I bought the ticket for it and it actually got finally cancelled.
Yeah.
Um, because he really wanted to do it.
Hmm.
Um, and it just never. quite, the stars never quite aligned. There was always something, whether it was his health, whether it was to do with the pandemic at the time.
Hmm.
And yeah, he never quite did that kind of last tour over here,
Yeah.
which is a real shame because I did get to see Black Sabbath a couple of times, but
I was going
never.
to say, like,
Yeah.
what has been your experience with Ozzy and Black Sabbath? Like, how many times have you seen him? What were the shows like? Because I've only seen him once when they were touring the 13 album, which is still one of my favorite Black Sabbath records. I think it's one of their best.
Hot take, very hot take.
I love it. Okay, I was in an impressionable age when it came out, and I thought it was great. In the same vein that Down to Earth, even though I know it's not everybody's favorite, I still love because I listened to it when I was at a very impressionable age, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I love this.
Yeah. Yeah, so I saw Sabbath twice, basically on the End tour, back in
Hmm.
2016, 2017. So they headlined Download Festival, which I
Hmm.
went to with my dad. And that was like, yeah, really very iconic. That was, I think, the first time I went to Download, which for those that don't know, is probably the UK's like biggest metal festival. Very, very famous in the
Hmm.
late 80s and early 90s under a different name. But yeah, like every band has played there. Like I've seen Aerosmith, Iron Maiden, Metallica, all sorts of artists headline that place. Um, so yeah, I caught that show back in 2016, and that was really good. And then yeah, a few months later, caught the London show that they did on the End tour, which was I think the third last one because they did 2 dates in Birmingham
Okay.
afterwards. Naturally,
Yep. Yep.
it
Yep.
all happens in Birmingham, as I found out at the
Hmm.
weekend.
Yep.
And yeah, it was. I wish I was more present because I remember getting really, really drunk before
Oh.
going to the show, and I missed the first couple of songs and
Oh
just
no.
don't really remember it. So that's quite a bit stupid of me, maybe,
Right. Right.
but I still had a good time, and I feel like that's I had a rock and roll kind of evening.
Yep. Yep. I do
Which
feel
is
as
great.
if Ozzy and the crew would approve of that. Like if that's how you're going to enjoy the show, then go for it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But it was great. I mean, even at the time, I still have a tiny little bag of confetti from that show at home, which is like a ridiculous thing to keep a hold of. But
Yeah.
I just never quite. It's just been in this drawer, and I just never quite thrown it away.
Yeah.
Um, it's yeah, it's just a real sadness. I've really revisiting a lot of the discography
Hmm.
in the last couple of weeks, like the first 6 albums
Yeah.
of Black Sabbath. A lot just my car has a 6 CD changer in the boot.
Right. Right.
Perfect for the first 6 Black
First
Sabbath
six. Yep.
albums.
Yep.
So I've just been blasting my way through that through the town. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I went up to Birmingham at the weekend,
Hmm.
so that would have been 2, 3 days ago when we're chatting about this, and it's before all of the memorial flowers were taken away. So I think that happened maybe today or yesterday. They
Sorry.
took There was like a big public memorial, and they took all of the sort of things away to give them to the family. So
Right.
tons of flowers. There were guitar and photos of Ozzy Osbourne, like people saying "You saved my life," and
Hmm.
gorgeous notes and all this kind of stuff on the Black Sabbath bridge.
Hmm.
Um, which yeah, if you watch the funeral live stream procession, um, that was where Sharon and Jack and Kelly and Amy dropped off all their flowers and stuff, and that's
Hmm.
kind of the only time any of us saw them that day. And that was harrowing
Hmm.
watching just all of them just look so broken.
Yeah.
I mean, it's understandable, they lost a father, a husband, a grandfather. It's yeah, just really, really sad.
Yeah.
But very moving visiting there um, afterwards and just yeah, seeing how there was literally permanent security there, just trying to help people because it was like there were so many flowers and things that were starting to block the pavement, so people couldn't like even just walk past.
Yeah.
So they had to like have people just being like, "Hey, can you just like stand over here?" Because there's people trying to like just use the road normally,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just full of stuff for Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, all over the city there was stuff. There's a big museum exhibit
Hmm.
in the Birmingham just the general main museum in Birmingham. Um, and I think as of today, that's just been extended for another like 3 or 4 months.
Makes sense.
Um,
Yeah.
because it was originally there for as a part of the
Mhm.
farewell show, and what kind of happened with that is, yeah, it's just turned into, I guess, a living memorial. Like they've not
Yeah.
changed any of the signs or anything, so it's like Ozzy is, Ozzy is, Ozzy is, not
Right,
Ozzy
right,
was.
right. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, there's all sorts there. There's like gold discs and posters and memorabilia and that kind of stuff. It's a bit smaller than I thought it was. But then
Hmm.
I guess for the comparative of like there's a concert happening, we're going to put on a little exhibition.
Yeah.
It's appropriately sized for that. But
Right.
the biggest legend maybe ever to come from Birmingham has died.
Yeah.
It feels a bit understated for that, but obviously they can't just gut out another section of the museum midway through an exhibit and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, yeah, let's just get rid of these other guys and fill it with all. I
Right.
mean, a lot of people probably wouldn't mind, but
Yeah.
some people might.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. What I found very interesting just thinking about that is like, I've spent my summer working in a record store, and almost within like 2 days, our record store was obviously immediately we sold out of everything that we had on hand for everything Ozzy and Black Sabbath. Um,
Yeah.
we had people that were genuinely confused on why we didn't have any more t-shirts of Ozzy. I'm like, brah, we only have like maybe six t-shirts of those, and they were gone within the first day. So, like, yeah, we don't have anything. But
Yeah.
the thing that I found very interesting was the Monday after our store received like boxes of Aussie stuff. And I'm like, there's no way that these were printed or manufactured for this. This was things that they were sitting on waiting for something like this to happen. And that's where I'm just like, ah, man, like there's a part of me that's a little bit disgusted about that, like how morbid the capitalistic side of all this is because they know people are going to buy a lot more. So they're just like printing and sitting on these. Because now we have like picture discs of the first three Aussie records, a bunch more of the Black Sabbath records. And I'm like, how many other artists are they just like sitting on a lot of this material waiting for them to knock off so that we can just make a lot more money?
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't like that, right? Like, I'm not a big fan of that. But also, if people want to buy it, I'm going to sell it. So,
Yeah, it's quite morbid to think about, really. Um,
mhm.
but obviously, when an artist dies, it brings them people. It brings them to back to the forefront of people's
Yeah,
brains. Wow, that was a lot of words.
yeah,
Like I know, like for me, like when Prince died, when David Bowie died,
yeah,
I was like, oh man, I should really deep dive into these guys again. Like
yeah.
it's been a while, and you go because that's how I found out Prince is incredible. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wow, I really missed my chance there.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I paying attention to this guy when he was
Yeah, yeah.
alive? I mean, quite famously, I think it happened with Eva Cassidy, the sort of folk singer. Her record Songbird, like just
Hmm.
after she passed, suddenly it was like, oh wow, she's incredible. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, oh,
Oh, oh no. Yeah.
it's kind of brutal, but I guess it's the way it kind of goes.
Yeah. Like I know all of, Amy Winehouse and oh, I'm thinking of another artist. Um, when they pass, it's like immediately all their music shoots up. It's like, well, that's it. We're not getting any more. So whatever's out there is out there. Unless, of course, we have like trying to think of an example, like Mac Miller or uh Elliott Smith, who had so much demo work and had so much like in the kind of bin that they're like, oh, let's just release dozens of posthumous albums. Um, and I kind of hope that they don't do that for Ozzy. Like, I like to think that Ozzy had a very good career start to finish, and Patient 19 was a great record to end on. Um, I
Yeah, I
personally
like
don't,
that record.
yeah, I loved it. I don't need any more. Um, I'm good. If you want to put out
Well,
maybe
have I got
that
some bad news
concert,
for you?
Oh no! Oh no!
I think they are doing a DVD of that concert.
Okay, that's good. That's good because I would love to see the full concert rather than just like the clips here and there that they've released so far. You know?
Yeah. I know there's, I think, another book coming out that had
Hmm.
already been like finished, that was going to come out in a couple months anyway. I
Okay.
think I remember reading. So
Okay.
another Ozzy autobiography about his life in the more recent years, because I don't remember when I Am Ozzy came out, but I think
Oh
that's,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little ways back. Again, I tried to get a copy of that recently. It's like,
Yeah. It's probably all
no,
gone.
gone. I can't
Hmm.
find it.
Hmm.
So gotta wait maybe a month and people will sell them on again on the secondhand
Yeah.
bookstores and that kind of thing.
About this time, like
Um,
around Christmas, that's when we'll be able to read them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I did try going into the HMV in Birmingham because when I went with a couple of friends, right, and when we were there, we were just sort of going around things that might have something, and there was some like Black Sabbath flags up. It's
Hmm.
like, okay, cool, but definitely was not because Ozzy died. It was from the gig like a month ago. But fine.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, just sold out of Ozzy CDs, and there were all that was left was Technical Ecstasy.
Oh, jeez. I mean,
Yeah,
it's fine, you know. There's some good tracks on
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah,
Not
but
the A game though, you know.
yeah, and it was the same. We went to Selfridges as well, and if you look online, it's like things to do in Birmingham. Oh, the Selfridges have got a thing for Ozzy and rest in peace, and you go, and it's just like they were selling T-shirts for
Yeah.
I think it was £150.
No, come on
That's
now.
And I
Come
just
on
like I
now.
actually saw that and I burst out laughing. I was like, "You
Yeah.
are kidding me!" Like,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not. Like, just
No.
go away. Like,
That's ridiculous. Come on, guys.
I couldn't believe it. Um, but weirdly enough, the vinyls they were selling there were like £20
Yep.
of Sabbath records, and I was like, "How have you got like a very good price on this?" Because normally I'd expect to pay 30, £35 for vinyl.
Yep. Yep.
How have you got a good price on this? Which is like hard to print and like hard to get stock of because you're not the distributor for it.
Hmm.
But the merchandise that you've made yourselves is obscenely expensive. Like, what has happened there?
Yeah, I wonder if it's because like I know within the record store that I work at, we don't set the prices. It's the manufacturers that set the prices for specific records. Now we can put deals on those records, but we can't like, jack up the prices for those kinds of things. Um, Otherwise, I think we can actually get like sued or in trouble by the distributors
Right.
if we
Yeah.
start undercutting or overselling. So I wonder if that's, and because they are making the t-shirts, they can set it at whatever they want. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what's
Maybe.
going on.
Maybe.
But that's
So
ridiculous. That's hilarious. Yeah.
yeah. We also went round. There is a venue which I can't remember the name of it now, and I'm just gonna passively just casually look at my phone for
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
particular reason.
This is what our
Which
viewers
was
come to
the
see.
it was the first venue that South played in. They did their first gig there. The
Ah,
Crown. There we
the
go. I
crown.
definitely didn't look that up.
Nope.
Um, and yeah, it's like you walk outside and there's big Black Sabbath posters, but it's closed. It's shut down at some point. So it's just like there's a huge thing at the moment in the UK about venues shutting down. We have this whole charity called the Music Venue Trust that's trying to like make sure all these tiny venues don't shut down. So all the
Right.
big stadiums are now offering like a percentage of the ticket price to support the smaller venues and all this
Oh,
kind of stuff.
that's
So that
nice.
yeah, it is happening in places. It's healthy for the music ecosystem because the whole thing
Yeah.
is like a band like Black Sabbath in the UK potentially wouldn't be able to get started now because
Hmm.
that whole scene at the bottom and sort of kind of in the middle doesn't really, it's kind of died a death a bit and disappeared.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, because a
Ah,
lot of
that's
people go to see the big bands
yeah.
and then maybe something at their local pub, but then the stuff in the middle, less and less and fewer people are willing to take a chance on
Yeah.
that kind of music unless they're at a festival.
Hmm.
So
That's
Yeah,
fascinating. Yeah.
but I guess the money didn't make it to the crown soon enough.
Oh man. Lost in the legacy.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, I wish we had something like that because Toronto just opened up this massive, massive stadium that I guess people are roasting because it takes forever to get to. Um, and yeah, I know a lot of, performing spaces in Toronto are struggling because of that. So, yeah, it would be good to actually have a kickback rather than, the Rogers family here in Canada just buying everything and slapping their names on it. Because now we have like the Rogers Center, the Rogers Stadium, the Rogers Arena. So if I have a ticket price and it's just, or like a ticket, it's like it's at the Rogers. It's like, well, which one? Because they're on very different ends of the city. So,
Well, we have that in the UK as well with O2, like the phone provider. For whatever
mm,
reason, at some point they started buying up music venues. So
mm,
there's about in London maybe five or six O2 venues all
yeah,
over the place, different sizes, and they've kind of taken away the original names of the venues. So like the Forum in London is now the O2 Forum.
yeah, yeah,
Like the Millennium Dome is the O2 Arena.
yeah.
Brixton
It's
Academy
like
is now
it
Brixton,
will
and it's
for
like
me. It's always going to be the Sky Dome, the ACC, and Downsview Park. Like no matter how many times you try to slap a different name on it, it's like no, that's what it is. Like don't try to kid yourself. I'm never going to be calling it the Rogers Center. It's going to be
yeah,
Sky Dome.
yeah. I'm even like Wembley Arena I think it's OVO Arena at the moment because it's named
Is it
after an
not Wembley?
electricity
Like
company.
even I
Yeah,
know
like
it as
what?
Wembley.
But that's to be fair, that's the arena. That's not the stadium, which is
Oh,
the.
okay.
But the arena's I saw Opeth there and like
Oh,
Nightwish. Like it's a quite a big venue.
okay.
Um, but we're maybe veering violently off topic.
We this is how we do. To bring us screechingly back into the topic at hand, what do we think? Do we think that um, Black Sabbath will continue, or are they gonna be like we're kind of done? Like they haven't really put out anything since 13, I think, anyway, even though they've done tours.
I
Like I
I
know
think that's
Tommy
it.
Iommi is still doing stuff for himself, but I don't think like Black Sabbath is a thing anymore, right?
No, well, Tommy did. He's either I think he's just finished a solo record and it's
I
about to
think he
come
just
out.
finished the solo record, yeah, because he had a bunch of like guest stars on it.
Yeah, so that's like on the way,
Hmm.
possibly for the first one of his records in a little while. I don't know about the rest of them. I mean, Bill's been basically been out the band for a long time anyway, right?
Yeah,
So it's kind of I think that's it.
yeah.
I think that's it. I kind of wonder, like, I know Ozzy had a massively iconic solo career as well, and did loads
Hmm.
on TV, and he was more of a cultural icon than just a singer necessarily.
Hmm.
And I have recently started rewatching the Osbournes.
Oh, see, I never watched it. I was just like, I always kept it at arm's length because I'm like, I have a very clear idea of like my own idea of what Ozzy is, and I get drips of that through like pre-social media. But like the media that I was consuming, I don't need to get any more of that. I think I'm good. I don't need to see
It's
this
I
old guy just screaming out Sharon. Like I can spend my time doing something a little bit more productive.
That's brutal. I think it's hilarious. I think it's honestly
No, if you
TV.
got
It's
if
TV
you
gold.
find it entertaining, and I'm saying you as like you in general as well as you personally, all the power to you. All the power to you. Like I think that's great. Like I spend so much time doing mindless stuff myself. Glass house and throwing stones, but it just wasn't for me.
That's
Yeah,
fair enough. It's a very specific kind of TV show. I'd say it's like it's yeah. it
yeah,
is ridiculous, but
yeah.
yeah. I wonder like when Tony dies, is the same thing going to happen? Is it going to be a big thing? Is
I
it going to be as big? Are people going to care as
see.
much?
I
Or
don't, and this is going to sound so bad, but I don't think people will care as much because like everybody knows Ozzy, right? Like
yeah,
even my mom who doesn't listen to metal knows of Ozzy Osbourne, right? But how many people know about Tony, right? Like
yeah.
outside of
And
the
I was thinking the same
metalheads.
with Taylor Hawkins a few years back when he died
Hmm.
from the Foo Fighters. They
Hmm.
did these two huge concerts, basically on the same scale as the Sabbath one that we've just seen. but they
Yeah.
did two of them. They did one in Wembley in London, and they did one in LA.
Hmm.
And they had Queen playing, they had What's Left of Rush playing, and again, iconic rock bands, not metal bands. And I'm just like, wow, what's going to happen when Dave Grohl dies, or when some of these older guys die, or when the last people of that kind of generation of musicians start to go? There's not going to be anyone left to sort of organize that. Like, who's going to play
That's kind of what I was thinking because like
in
when
10 years'
Dave
time?
Grohl dies, because he's such an organizer, like I think that's kind of one of his hidden talents is just like grabbing people and putting things together, right? So like when he goes, there's not going to be anybody to do the parade for him outside of his fans and those that he's worked with.
Yeah,
Um,
because presumably for Back to the Beginning, Sharon, like, basically, I don't know how much credit to give her. Like, obviously, she's probably got a team of people and that kind of thing, right? But
yeah,
she spearheaded that and put it together for Ozzy and for the fans and everyone.
yeah.
And it's like, is that going to happen for these other guys who are
I
just
almost
as
think
iconic?
like I think Sharon will get more flowers than Tommy, which I think is kind of sad because I think she's more iconic and more
Mm.
like more people know of her just through the Osbournes as well as being like his manager. But like once again, how many people know of the other chaps from Black Sabbath? That's
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
yeah,
It's hard to say. It's kind of sad. But yeah, I mean, now that a lot of these rockers from the 60s, 70s, and 80s are aging, I think we're going to see a lot more of that. And I think, it'll be interesting to see how everybody kind of reacts, how big the mourning cycle is, and all that. Like I know I'm going to be
yeah,
devastated when there's a handful of, rockers and musicians that I grew up with that I consider massive heroes of mine. When they go, I'm going to be devastated, you know? So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I think it's almost, to an extent, kind of a new thing for society, where it's not like the big tragedies, like someone like Phil Lynott, who died of overdose, and in the peak of an incredible career within Lizzie.
Yeah.
Like, when people like that go, it's one thing, but it's now a collection of, like, a whole generation of, in the next 10 years, maybe,
Hmm.
are
Hmm.
going to sort of slowly fade away in front of everyone's eyes. People that everyone's grown up with, through the distribution of media and music, which has never been quite as expansive before as it was in the 60s and 70s
Yeah.
when a lot of these bands started, because the world just was different before that, right? There
Yeah.
wasn't, the sort of mass consumption and that almost like celebrity status of the rock star.
Yeah.
um so it's just kind of going to get worse, which
Yeah.
is
Because
really tragic.
yeah, I find like, those individuals who died young or at the peak, that was like losing a best friend. That's somebody that you admired, that's somebody that you really looked up to. But now it's almost like we're losing our parents. These are like our
Mm,
caretakers. These were the ones that looked after us. Um, and so, yeah, it's a completely different grieving process, I think. Um, yeah.
yeah, but I think Ozzy got a pretty fantastic goodbye, I think, from everyone, and
Yeah.
the fact that he was kind of there to see it to an extent, I think, is, yeah, very, very few people, I think, get that opportunity to effectively be at their own funeral, which kind of, it wasn't quite that, but it also wasn't far off that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think it was like a celebration of life more than anything
yeah, like,
else.
yeah,
And to be a part of that, knowing that this is the last one, I think that was very special because, as you said, like very, very few people get that. So,
mm,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So,
yes.
yeah, well, that's our little convo. That's our wrapping up. I realized neither of us have introduced ourselves throughout this whole thing. I just assumed everybody already knows who we
Oops.
are. Oops. But Grace, thank you once again for coming on our little channel. Would you like to introduce yourself to those who are looking at us being like, who's this? Who's this person?
Who's that? Who's this person from Britain, United Kingdom, with that accent and the tea and the crumpets?
The
Except
water
I don't
bottle,
drink
isn't
tea.
it?
Yeah, water bowl, bottle of water. Um, I could take this seriously, couldn't I? No.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Grace Hayhurst. Hello. I do a bunch of stuff. I occasionally write for Prog Magazine. I am a musician myself. I put out an album last month.
Yeah.
I also
It's
do
fantastic.
concert
Y'all should
photography.
you know,
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank
yeah,
you very
it's
much.
good. You know,
I'll take that.
I'll promote. It's good. It's good. Had a great time.
Um, yeah, so very proud of that. It's like a progressive metal all over the place, and I did basically everything except for drums as a solo record. And yeah, it's a lot going on. There's string quintets and French horns, and
Yeah.
even Ray Hearn from Haken dropped in at the studio one day to do some very very advanced clapping and clicking. Yeah, the credits real, believe it or not.
Hey,
Um, and I also run a recording studio in
yeah.
London. That's fun as well. So I don't know what else I like. I had yogurt yesterday. I had a really nice
Love that.
yogurt. That was good.
Yeah, got to
I think
get
that's it.
those
That covers everything.
biomes. Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks so much once again for coming on, and thank you all for watching. Mourn Ozzy in your own way, celebrate the life, and listen to some pretty heavy music. Until next time, we are out.